anybody. I don't know the system, things like that. What was it actually like from your perspective?
It was similar feelings and memories of freshman year. Like you said, coming in not knowing people, but it was different enough where you know you've had experience playing. I think that makes it a little bit easier, and I think it allows you to kind of mesh better with the guys, and also, second time around, you have that familiarity with it. You've done it before. Mm-hmm. You've had to create new friends, create new relationships on the field. So I think just having that second go around really helped.
In hindsight, how did you kind of balance the line of I'm a quarterback, I want to be a leader, I have a voice here, versus knowing your place a little bit, that you are new?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is the guys let you know, maybe not verbally, but from their body language and how they react to things. They kind of let you know if, hey, you're overstepping your boundaries, you just got here, kind of thing. So I think the feedback from the other players really helps.
Do you have an example of that?
No, it's hard to say that, yeah.
Do you remember anybody that maybe helped you the most and tried to, help you assimilate to things?
I mean, a lot of receivers are very helpful, and less of the offensive linemen. I think a lot of guys are very receptive to just, hey, this is kind of how we do it. The strength staff did a great job with getting me acclimated to how they run their summer program, which I think being acclimated to that allowed me to facilitate my way into, meshing with the guys.
Do you have a funny or most interesting story about not really knowing where you were going or what you were doing at first?
No, not really. Just tough with names. Hey, buddy or pal, and you just don't know their names yet, so you just kind of feel a Seinfeld reference out there, so you just kind of use that a lot.
Kamara said yesterday that you would sometimes go to them, the receivers, sometimes the coaches with certain questions. Did you have a sort of categories for what you would go to with other players, what with coaches, or was it just sort of whoever you hadn't last time? Or
It was kind of just depending on the question, very specific to what it was, and then also who was available. Sometimes coaches were out of town, so some they got to get time off, and then you go to the guys to run it.
what did you go to the players with versus the coaches?
I mean, just more of a personal thing, like, hey, how do you like this route? How do you like it coming out? Timing wise, stuff of that nature.
Jim said that John said to you after the game that you're winning games. That's what you're supposed to do. Is it more meaningful when it comes from someone like John Harbaugh when he's telling you that you're doing what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge whenever you have any of the Harbaughs telling you you're doing a good job getting wins. And I mean, I've said that before, that that's the most important statistic for a quarterback is wins and losses. So hopefully we continue doing that, but it's not going to be easy at all this week.
You've said before, I mean, we've talked about this before, but not everybody thinks that they're going to pick apart your game and say, well, why aren't you doing this or that? Do you feel like Jim is giving you the kind of support that you need, being here 1 year and having to get that comfort level? Is he supporting you in a way that's giving you that comfort level?
Definitely. He's just being able to talk with me on the field and not just being a solid coach in regards to not exploding over certain things, but just say, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Let's do it. And I think he does a good job of that with all his players, trying to understand what kind of gets them going, allows them to understand what we're trying to do.
Is there a part of you that wants to be seen as more than a game manager who can just kind of be measured by a win and a loss, or do you that you're okay with that?
Well, I'm okay with wins and losses. Mm-hmm. The more wins, the better, and just let everything else take care of itself.
Is there a technical thing or two that Harbaugh has done with you that maybe you hadn't encountered, or maybe struck you in a different way that has moved you along?
I think one of those is footwork. Just working on drops certain ways to kind of speed it up, but also stay under control. Obviously sometimes you revert back to an old way of doing things, but he's done a tremendous job of allowing me to try to move that forward and be more efficient in that regard.
All right, thank you.
Can I ask one
No,
more?
let's go.
Your box out.
He's boxing out.
God, I mean.